this is what I'm saying. He's absolutely right about this. Yo, she had to mention it. He said nothing wrong. He's basically saying like, bro, and you know the crazy thing is, all of y'all would agree to that. If I came out and said, yeah, support me because I'm black, I have a black owned business, and you came there and your experience is bad, 90% of y'all would go and write reviews that my business is bad. Right, Torture Talk After Hours. All right, so look, man, Wallo has said some things that got Black Twitter upset. So we gonna check in with this one, and make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, man. I got a lot to say about this, and yeah.
Black Twitter and podcasters who represent Black Twitter are calling for Wallo to be canceled over comments he made that are currently going viral. Now, these comments stem around his relationships with Black-owned businesses.
I'm black. No black people. Nobody gives a out there. Kill that. How? Either you got a good business or you don't. All that. Nobody want to hear that. That's a hustle. Support me because I got a black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material good? Come on. Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people. No, I support consistency, baby. Yeah, man. What color you is? I'm spending my money. That the paper? I'm gonna spend the millions where the I want to spend it at. Brothers, poor.
I'm gonna run that back and let him run the whole thing, but yeah, a lot of people ain't gonna like my opinion on this either. I agree. I think that it is a hustle that people keep saying support black businesses. I go to a lot of black businesses, and I ain't gonna lie, half of them don't have the workers there. I went to one black business, and I ate there, and let's just say they didn't have no plates. They had everybody eating out of styrofoam containers. And that's a red flag for me. And I know people say, well, some people, they do things to how would I say this? They do things just to keep the overhead down and stuff like that, maybe later on. But some people don't want to hear that. And I understand exactly what he's saying. It is a hustle to say that you have a support a black business. But what if I'm supporting a black business that is not a good business? Should I still support that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not encouraging people not to support black businesses. I just think that if you got a business, just say you got a business. That's it. I think at this point, people don't really care whether the business is black or not. As long as you got something good, a good product that you're selling, then that's what it is. Like, that's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
For Roy Linda, I'm going to do what I want to do while I'm here. But I'm going to tell you one thing, I ain't going to be finessed off what color you. I'm black. No black people. Nobody gives a out there. Kill that. How? Either you got a good business or you don't. All that. Nobody want to hear that. That's a hustle. Support me because I got a black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material good? Come on. Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people. No, I support consistency, baby. Yeah, man. What color you is? I'm spending my money. That the paper? I'm gonna spend the millions where the I want to spend it at. Brothers, Porsche, Ferrari, Linda. I'm going to do what I want to do while I'm here. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, I ain't gonna be finessed off some black. But one thing about it, 70% of you is not going to make it. I'm not no motivational speaker that talk this. I'm the number one in the country. You know why? Y'all seen me come out of the penitentiary. I made millions, and I made millionaires, baby. You understand? I come from the ghetto.
Sounds like a whole lot of truth to me, man. If you're wondering,
I can't really hate on what he's saying. You got to look at it from that point of view. And I know people probably saying, like, listen, let me explain something to y'all about Black Twitter. And it's just my opinion. It's a bunch of bourgeoisie black people on there who is upset that people don't agree with them when it comes to black ideology. That's all it is. Like I'm black through and through, and I'll always stand on things for my people. But you have to be a person that can accept constructive criticism. And I think a lot of black people on black Twitter, they can't accept constructive criticism. They think that every time you speak against it, they all for you. When it's like a black Twitter, to me, is like a giant echo chamber. Nobody gives nobody no pushback. Everybody basically says the same thing over and over again for each other. It's never a criticism in there where you say, well, maybe you could do this better, or maybe I think I can do this better. If somebody comes out and says something against a black owned business, that's a big problem. It's a huge issue to them. Or somebody says something against anything that's black, it's a huge issue to them. But they never have no solutions. It's always all of these different talking points, but nobody ever has solutions. And that's why I don't follow black Twitter. That I was on there and I got off of there because I said to myself, I can't be a part of this because all these people in here, they just basically talking to each other, but nobody's actually saying, well, maybe you could do this better. Everybody seems like everything is fine. You can't say anything. Now they calling for him to be a black millionaire who made it out of prison, who got out and became a millionaire. Now you're trying to call for him to be canceled because he's saying that black businesses should actually stop saying that you have a black business, just focus on being a good business. And all of a sudden he has to be canceled. That's why I don't follow black Twitter. Right there. That's the reason right there. One of the biggest reasons. Because whenever they don't agree, it's like you're always talking about white people. But whenever you don't agree or something that you say that don't, they'll put you in the same category as white people. So you're the same. If you're talking about him, talking about black people, you're doing the same thing by putting him in the same category. You're talking about black people too. It's such a big contradiction. It's crazy.
Flacco, what exactly did he say wrong? Go to somebody else because I don't know what he said wrong, bro. Sounds like a whole lot of truth. Yo, if I'm going to give you my money, the transaction has to be mutually beneficial. If I'm giving you my money for some food, the food has to be good. If I'm giving you my money for some clothes, the clothes has to be quality. If I'm giving you my money for customer service, the customer service has to be good. I have to leave satisfied. And that's all he's saying. I'm not just supporting you strictly off of you are a black-owned business. When there's a business next door that does a better job, cut it out, bruh.
And listen, I totally agree. I'm telling you, when I was growing up in the hood, everybody used to go to this dude, right? And everybody knew this dude was a crackhead. His business was half-ass. I'm talking like half-ass. He had a food truck. It was always dirty. And nobody would go to the other food truck up the street. Everybody was supporting him, but everybody knew he was on drugs. But because he was black, everybody supported him. And he ended up dying. You know what I'm saying? He ended up passing away, and one of his sons took over the food truck, and it actually became good after that. But still in all, this dude, everybody supported him, and his business was trash. And I'm not telling you that every black business is trash, because it's not. I'm just saying, we got to stop with this whole thinking process of we got to support everything that's black. That's not true. That's not true. You got to support everything that's good. That's how I look at it. Everything that's good. Stop making excuses for these people to have bad businesses. I'm not going to support you if you have a bad business, whether you're black or white. It doesn't matter to me. If you have a bad business, I'm not supporting you. I'll try you out one time. I ain't going to read no reviews. I ain't going to do none of that. I'll try you out one time. And depending on how everything, your service or whatever, I'm going to continue. If I don't, even if I don't like the food and the service is good, I might come back another time. But if there's something about your place that's a huge red flag, I'm just not going to do it. I'm sorry. Some things I could forgive. Like the styrofoam thing, the food was actually good. I ain't going to lie. But it is still a huge red flag for the styrofoam container thing. But I still went back there. You know what I'm saying? And I even put a suggestion in the comment box that they should get plates. But still, like, come on.
A lot of these things are based on perspective. So from my perspective, I don't think he's talking to the black-owned businesses who are doing a great job, who are on their stuff, who do have a great business, who do have quality that they're giving you in exchange for your dollar. Now, when we want to have the conversation of if a black-owned business is bringing you quality, is bringing you the same thing that you can get from somewhere else, but they're doing it just as good, well, that's a conversation. That's a very uncomfortable conversation we will have about who do you choose. But for the sake of this conversation, we won't go there. Now, people on Black Twitter are having a blast with this Wallo video. They're leaving reactions, quote tweets, and they're going off on him. One user will say that Wallo has been tap dancing for years. A user who goes by the name of Big Malcolm X Play Cousin will write, Wallo and Gilly have been tap dancing for years. Not once has Wallo attacked a white corporation or demanded a perfect experience from them. Dr. Amos Wilson warned us about these blank black capitalists. Wallo is direct.
Now, you see, this is another thing that bothers me about these people, right? Everybody always saying that somebody's been doing something for years. You've been tap dancing for years. You've been doing. How come you didn't say nothing about it then? Why you didn't say nothing about it years ago? Why? Why are you saying something about it now? That's my biggest issue with people on Black Twitter. They always saying, yo, you've been doing this for a long time. Oh, he been like that for a while. Oh, he been there. Why? Why you ain't saying nothing about it then? Why you ain't saying nothing about it back then? Why? It's like a lot of these people are like opportunists. You know what I'm saying? And they wait for something to happen so they could jump on it. Or they just jump on it because everybody else doing it. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that, okay, you know what, man? Hey, man, black man got his own opinion. That's how he feel. It's like, yeah, and then they try to connect. They straw man these arguments. They try to connect things that has nothing to do with anything. Oh, Wallo was on DJ Vlad. He been tap dancing for years. And it's like, what? like, what are you talking about? This is the type of stuff that they do. They try to connect things that has nothing to do with anything, just so they can say, see, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. And then another thing that bothers me too about a lot of these people, they never want to debate. They never want to have a conversation. They just want to, a lot of these people, they're the master at keyboard warriorship. They do not want to debate. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to debate anything. They'll talk, they'll say what they got to say. And then when you say, well, look, give them some pushback. Oh, no, get off my page. I ain't trying to hear that. Get off my page. I don't want to hear that. It's like, get up out of here, man. Come on.
Speaking to the businesses who want you to support them strictly because they're black-owned businesses. There's not a white corporation who says, hey, support me because I'm white. Usually it's implied you're going to pick the best experience from the corporation, that gives you the best value for your buck. Now, one user will even take the video and he will call out Wallo for the hypocrisy.
So Wallo made some strong comments. He's talking tough to a room full of quote unquote black people. I mean, just talking tough, said he is.
Stop him there. He's talking tough to a room full of quote unquote black people. So was there black people there? Because what are you trying to imply, that these people are not really black? Like, is that what you're trying to imply? Or are you saying that maybe some of the people in the room wasn't black and he was like, what are we talking about? I need, and that's another thing people do too. They use these phrases, but they don't really explain. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it going. I want to hear everything he got to say.
Hypocrisy.
So Wallo made some strong comments. He's talking tough to a room full of quote unquote black people. I mean, just talking tough, said he is not going to be finessed off no blacks. He ain't going to support no black businesses just because they owned by somebody black. He ain't going to be finessed on no black. But I think out of his own words, when he got out of prison, he was finessing black people. And I'm pretty sure, who was you selling those T-shirts to, my guy? When you say you was buying them for $5 and selling them for $20. And you say they were gilding T-shirts too that really cost $1. So who were you finessing? Who were you selling those T-shirts to? Who were you asking to support you? Who? And how long did those T-shirts last? Was your customer service? Did you go to training for your customer service? I'm pretty sure you did.
But this doesn't refute Wallo's point.
That's one of the. That's one of the dumbest arguments I ever heard in my life. Again, it goes back to what I said about they try to straw man stuff and pull it in because they have an issue with one thing over here. They try to connect it to that. That has nothing to do with bro, that is basic. That's basic business 101, stupid. You buy and you upsell. Everybody does that. I don't understand why certain black people think that you don't supposed to do that. Like, I know this person who I used to sell cars, and I used to buy cars from auctions, and I'll get cars for $2,500 and I'll sell them for $5,000. It's just, that's what you're supposed to do to get, you supposed to flip it. Everybody does this in any business, whether it's drug dealing down to selling cars, you flip. That's what you do. Houses, everything. All the people I knew, they wanted me to give the car to them for $2,700. And I'm like, hey, well, you made $200, $300 off of it. I'm like, nah, bro, it don't work like that. And no, but then you can go back. Like, bro, the point is, I'm trying to go get 2 cars, then flip those 2 cars. Then I can lower my price after I get my inventory up. But this is what I'm talking about. A lot of these people, this is what this type of ideology they have. So you're saying that Wallo brought t-shirts for $1 and he sold them for $20. That's common business. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, what are you talking about? That has nothing to do with. And actually, if he sold all the t-shirts and everybody brought them, that's a good businessman. Like, what? I just don't understand these people's logic behind things.
Was your customer service? Did you go get? Did you go to training for your customer service? I'm pretty sure you did.
But this doesn't refute Wallo's point. All this proves is, yeah, you shouldn't have bought the shirt from Wallo for $20 if you could go down the street and get the same shirt for $5. Whoever bought those shirts from Wallo got finessed and got hoodwinked, but that doesn't take away from the point that he's saying, which is, yeah, you should not be finessed by this. It's a black.
That's still, to me, that doesn't refute the point. It doesn't. If that doesn't refute his point at all. That has nothing to do with whether business are good or bad. It has nothing to do with being finesse. Okay, if you're going to say that Wallo was saying that there's hustlers who say their business is black and this and this, but that has nothing to do with the total point of it, in my opinion. The total point is whether he sold the t-shirts for $50. It was a good business because people brought it. Now, if he sold the t-shirts with holes in them or they were dirty and he was trying to sell them, that's different. That's the argument that I think he's making. Not the fact that he sold the t-shirts for $20. That I don't think that's. I think he's saying if he was a black business and he was finessing people by saying, yeah, man, buy my t-shirts, and his t-shirts was trash and it wasn't quality, that's different. That's what I think he's talking about. Not somebody who's just selling to, because you could say the same thing. Like, is Mercedes-Benz finessing people? Their cars are much pricier than all the rest of them. Are they finessing people? You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know. If you go to ShopRite and their steaks, are they finessing people? Because their steaks are $5 higher than Save a Lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about here? And also got to think about the quality. Well, how was the quality? Whether you brought the t-shirts for $1. Maybe he got a deal from the t-shirts that was $1 that was quality t-shirts that was $1. You never know. He's probably a good businessman like that. It's like, I don't know, man. Some people, I think they be reaching with certain things, but let's keep it going.
Business scam, and you should go and buy that shirt for $5 if it's the same quality shirt that band is trying to resell you. Now, one person in particular that had a deep dive on this that I definitely want for us to review and do a deep analysis on is Rachel Lindsay. She is Van Lathan co-host of the Higher Learning Podcast, a podcast that I watch every week. Now, she takes a more sinister approach when it comes to Wallo, and here's what she had to say.
I'm hoping that I disagree with everything he said. Let me just put that straight up. I'm hoping that there's more context to it because I'm trying to understand where this came from and why. Like, I don't understand him screaming at an audience and basically almost saying black businesses aren't shit.
Okay, so
Not say that. He did not basically say that either. Like, no, he didn't say that. No, absolutely not. You're totally wrong about that. And if you need, yeah, some of y'all really need to put y'all thinking caps on and try to look at things from a different perspective. Y'all look at things with such a narrow lens. It's so crazy. Like, he did not say that. He actually said the opposite of that. He basically is saying if you're a black owned business, you don't have to shout that. Just be a great business. That's what he's saying. But you're out here saying that he's shitting on black businesses. Man, listen, man. I'm gonna run it back a little bit. Keep it going.
Understand him screaming at an audience and basically almost saying black businesses aren't shit.
Okay, so he's a very passionate guy. So when Wallo speaks, he's a very passionate guy.
I'm a passionate person too.
That's probably why he was screaming.
I'm a passionate person.
But you're not Wallo. Like, yo, all of these people need to stop this, bro. You're not him. I'm a passionate person too. Okay, but you're not him. His passion may be different from yours. Everybody isn't the same because y'all always use that argument. Well, we're not the same. But then when someone says something like that, then all of a sudden you're all the same. Like, come on, bro. Cut it out.
Too.
You are.
But it basically sounded like he was saying, and this is my first time listening to it, that he was basically saying black businesses ain't shit. And don't expect me to lift your shitty black business up. I understand if he's speaking in terms of you can't expect your business to be successful by only saying I'm a black owned business and therefore because you are black, you need to support my black owned business.
That's exactly what he's saying. Oh my God. Yo, that's exactly what he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying. You just said a few minutes ago that you did not know what he was talking about. And he looked like he was shitting on black businesses. But you just literally dropped down and said, well, I can understand if he says, yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. You know exactly what he's saying, but you don't want to agree with it because you know it's right. You know it's right, but you just don't want to agree with it. That's exactly what he just said. He literally said what you just said. That's crazy for her to even say that. Like, come on.
You can't expect your business to be successful by only saying I'm a black owned business and therefore because you are black, you need to support my black owned business. If that's what he means, I understand that. But the way that he's yelling in this context and basically saying, I'm not going to support you just because you're black.
I like Rachel, but it tickles me seeing industry people have to give honest opinions, right? Because they're caught between a rock and a hard place. Usually it's very easy to sort of pander to a particular base. And usually the people you like fall on the side of that base. So pandering to them and pandering to your base is usually the same thing. But with situations like this, where somebody who's usually on the side of your base or, who's pro your pander, like with seeing that person now, they have a drastic opinion that goes against your base and who you pander to. Seeing these industry people have to give honest opinions tickles me, bruh. Because,
this is what I'm saying. He's absolutely right about this. Yo, she had to mention it. He said nothing wrong. He's basically saying like, bro, and you know the crazy thing is, all of y'all would agree to that. If I came out and said, yeah, support me because I'm black, I have a black owned business, and you came there and your experience is bad, 90% of y'all would go and write reviews that my business is bad. Y'all would agree with Wallo. You know what I'm saying? But y'all just don't want to say it. A lot of this stuff, y'all will agree with Wallo, but y'all just like this with it. Y'all keep y'all mouth shut. In some cases, that could be a good thing. I ain't gonna lie. But still in all, like, come on, bro. He ain't telling no lie.
Opinion that goes against your base and who you pander to. Seeing these industry people have to give honest opinions tickles me, bro. Because, you see how much they're struggling with it, bro. You see, bro, again, not just Rachel, because there's other people I've seen as well where it's, I hope, man, no, nah, bro. Y'all in these YouTube streets with us, bro. It's time to criticize our own. I can't be the only hater on YouTube, bro. Somebody got to be a hater like Flock. I can't be the only hater on YouTube, bruh. So seeing these industry people have to give real opinions, oh, okay. This is what I like. Now, shout out to Van Lathan, because I do think Van Lathan is a hater like me, bruh. Van Lathan don't care. Van Lathan gonna give it up. He burned bridges all the time. He don't care. But with Rachel, when she says, yo, I hope he's saying don't support a black business if the black business isn't giving you good customer service. Well, that's exactly what he's saying. And then she says, oh, I hope he's not saying don't just support a business because they're black. That's exactly what he's saying, right? That the business being a black-owned business, some consideration for the business, but 95% of the consideration should be, what is the value that I'm getting for this business? What is the value that I'm receiving back? And that's all this is about. So when Richard Lindsay say, I hope he's not saying, don't just support a business because they're black. That's exactly what he's saying. And he will be absolutely right for that.
I feel like when people say support black-owned businesses, that's not what they're asking for.
Okay, you want me to say something? I'm listening to you.
I mean, no, this is all I have. This is my first time listening to it. I didn't listen to this. I didn't hear this before. It sounds to me this clip sounds so anti-black. And it so seems to me to miss the whole movement around support black businesses. It's, hey.
This Wallo clip is the most pro-black clip I'd have ever seen. What's more pro-black than telling black folks, listen, take pride in your business. Take pride in what you are putting out there. Take pride in the product that's representing you. And if you take pride in that, we got your back. We're going to support you. We're going to ride for you. But to the other business owners who give black folks a bad name because they come out here with bad product, bad customer service, everything is bad, and they want us to support it and put our dollars in it, and now those people are represented in the same market as the good business owner? Nah, bro, cut it out.
He's absolutely right about that. That's 100% facts. How did y'all not see that? How do y'all not see that? He's absolutely right about that. But I'm going to have to end it here. Y'all can watch the rest of it on his channel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Make sure y'all check him out. Yeah, man. I just think that that's wild for people to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't have an opinion about something, and he ain't saying nothing wrong. He just said, look, if you have a black-owned business, make sure you have the best black-owned business. That's it. I don't see how y'all mad about that. How are y'all saying he's talking down on black businesses by basically saying that you should, instead of you running out here saying you got a black-owned business, you should focus on having a good business. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But either way, thank y'all for joining me, man. I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Told your dog after hours. You know what it is. See y'all. Peace. Bye.